UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It is the election season, a time when inflation is predicted to spike due to the increased spending, and that's business. However, for the contenders, be cautious, tread carefully, and spend wisely. Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Business Roundup. My name is Maureen Babidie, and these are the top stories tonight. Government releases Q1 funds for the financial year 2025-26. US dollar index records worst first 6 months since 1973. And DFCU Bank commits to expand access to asset ownership across Uganda. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. In our first report tonight, the government this week released 17.18 trillion shillings for Q1 of the financial year 2025-26, representing 23.7% of the total approved budget of 72.38 trillion Uganda shillings. Key sectors like agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral development and ICT have received focused support under the ATM's framework.
The Q1 expenditure limits released amount to Uganda shillings 17.18 trillion and represents a release of 23.7% of the approved budget. And these are the highlights: wage at 2.2 trillion shillings, non-wage 4.4 trillion, Government of Uganda Development 692 billion, external financing development 2.7 trillion shillings, debt and treasury operations at 6.9 trillion shillings, and local revenue 82 billion shillings.
As you are aware, this year is election year, and in the effort to support all the activities to ensure that they are well funded, the money for non-wage recurrent has been released with a view to ensure that all of these entities that are carrying out this exercise, the Electoral Commission, the security institutions, the statutory institutions, are all well funded, and we have provided the resources.
While releasing the funds, Ramadan Gobi, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, noted that government is prioritizing agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral development and science and technology to drive tenfold growth, and highlighted some of the sectors and the funds disbursed for their operations.
We have released 215.28 billion shillings for agro-industrialization. Of this, 62.41 billion is for research and operations of institutions within the program, while 152.86 billion is for development projects. For tourism, we have released 20.5 billion shillings, and this has been released to the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, but also to the Uganda Tourism Board. What are these monies for? To finance tourism sector development interventions, particularly branding and marketing. We want to kick off the branding of Uganda, market Uganda, promote and enforce our hospitality standards, among other things. But this money we have released to tourism excludes the funds which Uganda Wildlife Authority collects and spends at source. The mineral-based industrial development, including oil and gas, we have given them 26 billion of which 19.5 billion is for Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and 6.5 billion is for Petroleum Authority of Uganda to ensure that they continue to monitor and regulate our activities in the oil and gas. This does not include the funds to Uganda National Oil Company, which remains at source, but also as subventions. The science, technology and innovation, including ICT and creatives, have received 139.13 billion shillings. And this is going to ensure that 33 billion goes to the artists under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and the 83.3 billion shillings goes to science, technology and innovation, and then the balance goes to the Ministry of ICT for digital transformation.
In addition to human capital development, health, education and social protection, security and infrastructure sectors have also been prioritized. The release of the funds comes at a time when the country is preparing for the general elections, and these raised concerns of misappropriation of public funds in the grassroots.
You've already cautioned that this quota is not for development, budget, but Chair would like to know whether, one, you have mechanism ensuring that we don't misuse resources for electioneering, because we know that fuel for a civil servant at the district level will end up being fuel for campaigning.
I want to assure you, Julius, that whether they are PPDA or whoever is supposed to be responsible for what, one thing which is no longer negotiable is compliance and delivery, to ensure that people deliver on what we have committed in the policy documents to deliver. I've already said we have written so many policies except a policy on policy implementation. I want to tell you, without writing it, we are implementing it.
With a disciplined budget release and a focus on strategic growth sectors, government is certain of fostering sustainable and inclusive economic transformation.
Relatedly, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Ramadan Gobi, updated the country on the current state of the economy. Take a look.
Despite global economic challenges and ongoing international conflicts, Uganda's economy continues to perform well. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Ramadan Gobi, says that the economy has grown from 53.9 billion to 61.3 billion US dollars.
In the third quarter of last financial year, the economy grew by 6.9%. This robust growth in GDP was on account of government expenditure in the parish development model. There was also growth in fixed capital formation, but also we saw recovery in household expenditure.
On inflation, the rise in prices of goods and services has remained under control, staying within the 5% target. The Ugandan shilling has also gained strength against major foreign currencies, including the US dollar. Currently, the shilling is trading below 3,600 selling or buying against the dollar.
The Uganda shilling has continued to strengthen against the dollar. During the month of June this year, the shilling appreciated by 1.3% against the US dollar. And this was largely on account of improved export performance, increased remittances from those Ugandans working abroad, and offshore investments, but also on account of the prudent macroeconomic management.
Foreign direct investment and remittances from Ugandans working abroad have also gone up, with a 31.4% rise recorded in the third quarter of the last financial year compared to the same time in the financial year 2023-2024.
The total remittances by these Ugandans who are living and working abroad for the last fiscal year were $1.4 billion compared to $1.33 billion which we had earned the previous year. Uganda also continues to be a favorable destination for foreign direct investment, which are coming into various sectors of our economy. In quarter 3 of last financial year, FDI amounted to $785.79 million US, an increase of 26.3% from the FDI which was registered in the same period the previous year.
Over the 12 months leading to March 2025, Uganda attracted US dollars 3.48 billion in foreign direct investments, up from US dollars 2.99 billion in the same period last year. Marion Awori, UBC.
The dollar index, which measures the currency's strength against a basket of 6 others, including the pound, euro and yen, fell 10.8% in the first half of the calendar year 2025, making it the worst first 6 months the currency has had since 1973. UBC spoke to several financial analysts who shared insights on what this could mean for developing economies like Uganda. We have the details.
The dollar index, which measures the currency's strength against the basket of 6 others, including the pound, euro and yen, fell 10.8% in the first half of 2025, from 110 in the first week of January to 97 in the first week of July.
Since the new administration, Trump administration, came in, the dollar dynamics have changed, precisely because of what I would call unorthodox economic policies in the US, but mainly tariffs. So because of that, the global perspective of investors is that the US economy is starting to hit turbulence.
Amid escalating wars between the United States and other countries in that period, Bank of Uganda's Monetary Policy Committee on May 13, 2025, decided not to change the central bank rate for the same reason.
Our outlook is surrounded by heightened uncertainty. And therefore, decision-making under this environment, you need really to be very, very cautious when you are making policy under such circumstances. So as a result of this heightened uncertainty, this is one of the reasons why we've maintained the CBR at 9.75%, because we need to have a fairly clear understanding of where the events are shaping.
The weakening trend of the US dollar was reflected in its exchange rate against Uganda's shilling, dropping to an average of 3,550 shillings in the first 2 weeks of July 2025, before rising slightly above 3,600 shillings, indicating a relatively stable shilling in the past 24 months.
In March this year, the shilling appreciated by 0.3%, trading at an average mid-rate of 3,667 shillings per US dollar, compared to the 3,677 shillings in February. And in the last 10 years, this shilling has depreciated by only about 33% compared to the currencies in the region.
Ambassador Kaboyo projects a slowed growth of the US economy compared to other developed economies.
So it's likely that the dollar will weaken and will continue weakening, because even the current administration, their current stance is that interest rates should reduce to support the weak growth in the US.
But what does this mean for developing economies like Uganda?
Investors are no longer attracted to US financial assets. And because of that, you find that many investors are diversifying their portfolios, going into emerging markets and frontier markets. A good example is the appetite foreign investors have for Uganda bonds.
A weak dollar could make Uganda's debt servicing cheaper and imported inflation less likely to negatively impact Uganda's economy. However, Donald Trump's big beautiful bill now risks reducing remittances from Ugandans working in the US due to increased taxes. Reporting for UBC Business, Wadulo Arnold Mark in Kampala.
In more business news, Uganda's oil and gas project remains firmly on track, says engineer Irene Batebe, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. Engineer Batebe confirms that the ministry, in collaboration with joint venture partners, is working diligently to ensure Uganda achieves its first oil production milestone by mid of next year. We have a report.
Oil and gas activities in both Uganda and in Tanzania are progressing according to plan, says engineer Irene Batebe, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. During an exclusive interview with UBC on the sidelines of the recently concluded Power and Electricity Expo in Kampala, engineer Batebe emphasized that the mid-2026 timeline is realistic and achievable.
So far, when you look at the Tilenga project, we have drilled about 140 wells in preparation for first oil. And equally on the CNOOC side, we are largely closing the wells that we require. About 17 are required for first oil from the Kingfisher development area. So we are working with Total Energies and CNOOC, but also the Uganda National Oil Company to ensure that we achieve our target of first oil mid next year. But in order to arrive at this production, the East Africa crude oil pipeline is very critical. Equally on that end, we've already already manufactured 1,400 line pipes out of the 1,443. So we expect that now, with the welding going on, the coating of these pipelines, we have seen the tunneling, the trenches are now being tunneled in preparation for the laying of the pipeline.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development also recognized the exhibitors of the 3rd Annual Power and Electricity Expo, a platform curated to explore pathways to sustainable energy development. The event at UMA attracted over 120 exhibitors from Uganda and abroad, showcasing innovations in solar technology, clean cooking appliances, high-voltage battery systems, among others.
And we are looking at different products and solutions that they can provide to the sector to support us achieve our universal access target, especially on products that help to reduce our cost of power. So we've been interacting with companies from India, from Britain, Bangladesh, and many other countries in Africa.
Innovative financial solutions were also introduced to potential customers and investors to support the adoption of clean energy.
We've seen a lot of innovative financial products as part of the conference, including a number of the technology providers providing for pre-financing, not only for household systems, but also industrial size systems. So we've seen a number of companies, they are able to support industries, invest in these technologies, have them pre-financed, and then the industries can pay on an ongoing basis, which allows them to acquire these technologies and spread the risk of capital in terms of meeting the payments for the technology. So this is a very innovative way.
The Power and Electricity Conference aligned with Uganda's broader objective of achieving universal access and also ensuring reliable and affordable power for all citizens.
DFCU Bank is committed to expanding access to asset ownership across Uganda with a promise to keep innovating to meet the needs of a dynamic, ambitious Uganda, ensuring mobility and productivity go hand in hand. Through the vehicle and asset financing solution, the bank aims to empower Ugandans with tools that generate income, improve mobility, and create long-term wealth. Dennis Segoa had a chat with Gloria Suna from the bank.
DFCU Bank's vehicle and asset financing VAF solution is tailored to enable Ugandans to acquire vital assets. It caters to a wide spectrum of customers, both in the formal and informal sector, with the goal of making asset ownership affordable and accessible.
Those are vehicles, equipment, machinery. We do not only give it to high-end clients, but we give it to a full range of customers.
So it's vehicle and asset financing?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
And we do not only give it to high-end clients alone, we give it to both personal clients and businesses, and both in the informal sector and formal sector, ranging from border riders, to farmers, to small enterprise businesses, to corporate entities.
At a time when many local entrepreneurs are seeking ways to participate in the capital-intensive ventures like the oil and gas industry, VAF offers crucial financial leverage, says Gloria Suna, a senior manager at the bank.
So for all those Ugandans that have acquired contracts in the oil and gas field, we encourage them to approach DFCU Bank because, like I mentioned, we do not tie the assessment of income only onto a pay slip. We tie it based on your contracts, based on your inflow if you're a farmer, but for this case, oil and gas, we'll look at your contract and verify your contract, and once it is valid, then we will be able to finance you to acquire those assets, equipment that you will use in oil and gas, tagging it to your contract that you have.
Beyond financing, the bank also focuses on capacity building for potential customers. As part of this initiative, DFCU has partnered with World Navy, a reputable Japanese vehicle dealership, to roll out a comprehensive vehicle financing package.
The 15th of May 2025, DFCU partnered with a Japanese company called World Navy to launch a comprehensive vehicle solution that will provide all Ugandans quality vehicles.
Some of the key features of the package include 100% financing, competitive interest rates, affordable insurance, and mechanical warranty, all designed to ease the burden of asset financing.
We are financing up to 100% for the vehicles, and our repayment terms are quite good, up to a maximum period of 5 years. And it comes along with comprehensive insurance at a competitive rate of as low as 2.8%. And we do have competitive interest rates, depending on the customer segment, up to about 17%. Okay, and then there's a mechanical warranty for the engine that World Navy provides to all customers.
It's fast.
But as always, there's no such thing as free money. This brings to the fore the importance of understanding the terms and conditions tied to the financing product.
We do have the element of collateral, good enough for vehicle and asset financing. The asset that we are financing, if it's a vehicle, if it's equipment, this is what forms the security or the collateral. So the customer does not need to struggle looking for a piece of land, a title to give us. We take this asset as collateral. We place a caveat on the logbook until the customer has finished paying up their outstanding amount, and then we uplift the caveat for the customer to walk away with their asset.
Dennis Igor for UBC Business.
Most of our energy as Uganda now still remains traditional biomass. So what that means is we are still using heavily using and relying on firewood, on charcoal, and that is not the big problem. The problem is that you need to ensure that you are sustainably using that. So the idea is that if you cut down a tree to get cooking fuel, someone else should be planting, replenishing that tree. The challenge we are having is we cut down the tree and it is not replaced. This is where the heart of the issue. So that's what we're talking. When we talk about sustainability, we want to ensure that we're utilizing our energy resources, our biomass resources, efficiently, effectively, but also sustainably for future posterity.
Now, did you know the average Ugandan consumes just over 11 kilograms of meat and animal products a year? Today in our Sounds of Business, we take you behind the buzz and bustle of one of Kampala's oldest and busiest hubs, the KCCA City Abattoir. Enjoy.
Money, I want to do something. Two saute, 250, the one got.
How much?
Let me sell it, got. Let me sell it.
As the election season heats up, politicians should remember that financial discipline is just as important as political strategy. Avoid the trap of overspending to impress or outshine rivals. Campaigns don't end when the ballots are counted, but debt does linger. We thank you so much for your audience. My name is Maureen Babidie. From me and the team, we wish you a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
From the day your child is born, you want to protect them. You want to protect them from the harm you know and the things your eyes can see. Protect them from falls when they are playing and as they are learning the world. But what protects them from the things your eyes can't see? Diseases attacking their bodies. Immunization from as early as birth, 6 weeks, 10, 14 weeks, to 9 and 18 months. And malaria starting at 6, 7, 8 to 18 months protects children from diseases, giving them the foundation they need to grow stronger and healthier.
Parents and caregivers, remember to immunize your children 9 times from birth to 18 months to protect them against vaccine-preventable diseases such as measles, rubella, polio, pneumonia, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, tetanus, meningitis, yellow fever, diarrhea, whooping cough, diphtheria, and malaria. All vaccines used for immunization are safe, effective, and free.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Parents and caregivers, remember to immunize your children 9 times from birth to 18 months to protect them against vaccine-preventable diseases such as measles, rubella, polio, pneumonia, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, tetanus, meningitis, yellow fever, diarrhea, whooping cough, diphtheria, and malaria. All vaccines used for immunization are safe, effective, and free.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and partners.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the super